Brett Pontecorvo here at mainstagetoableton.com. And today I'm going to walk you through how to build a step bass using Ableton's built-in synthesizer operator. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started making a simple step bass. So for today we're actually going to use the Ableton built-in instrument called operator. So we can drop an operator instance onto a default MIDI channel strip. Now the very first thing that you need to do is you need to set this to be running in parallel. Operator is an FM synth, and so oscillators can be used to modulate each other in varying capacities, but for our purposes today, we actually are going to use it as a bit of an additive synth, which it also has the capability to do. And so we do that by clicking right here, and these kind of mean everything runs out, as opposed to this guy over here, which means D modulates C, modulates B, modulates A. Cool. So next thing that we need to do here is go ahead and set up our different oscillators. So as you click through these different shells here, these are actually 4 different oscillators, and an oscillator is just something that makes sound. And there are some common waveforms, which we'll see in a second. So we're going to go ahead and set oscillator A and B to saw waves. Now I like saw 64 because that's kind of your common saw wave. So we'll do that for both of these guys here. And then for oscillators C, we want to do a square wave, and we're going to do square 64 as well, because that's your typical square wave. And then for oscillator D, we're going to just leave it as a sine wave so that we have something that's a little sweet sounding, something that's, not so punchy and poppy. All right, so I'm going to bring the volume down here and here for now. Let's give that a listen. So right now, all you're hearing is oscillator A. So we're going to go ahead and bring these up a bit. And you'll hear the sound has changed. Just a little bit there. Okay, great. We're going to move on here. So the next thing that I like to do is I actually like to detune a little bit. And you can do that making use of the fine tuning parameters on here. So I'm going to just go ahead and detune these just a touch. You hear right away that sort of adds a little chorusing effects, kind of everything is kind of rubbing on each other, which we like. We want to make our sounds interesting, which does take a little bit of work when you're working from a common waveform, but this is a really simple way to do that. Now, I'm playing pretty low. You can't actually see where I'm playing, so let me group this here so you can see where I'm playing. So yeah, I'm playing C2, which is relatively low, but I would like to get more bass, like more low-end frequencies. So I'm going to adjust the coarse tuning of oscillator A and of oscillator C down. And the reason that I chose that is because one of them is a triangle wave, and one of them is a square wave, and those are more biting type sounds. So let's give that a listen. So you'll notice right away we've already got some drop to what we've done there, as opposed to when these were up. A bit of a difference there. Okay, now a bass does not sustain quite as much. So we need to go ahead and make it now so that it sounds more like that plucking sound that you would get when you were playing a bass. So the way that we can do that is each of these shells actually have their own envelope. So if you click on envelope, you'll see here that I've got no attack, pretty quick decay, pretty quick release. Well, what we want is a quick attack and no sustain, really. So for oscillator A, let's bring our sustain down quite a bit. We're going to come back and fine-tune these in a second. We're going to do the same deal with this guy here. Let's actually just drop the sustain all the way down. Great, and for D, same deal. Nice. So you're hearing now we've got that crunch and then sort of the tail. And then for oscillator D as well, we'll bring the sustain down, but not a whole heck of a lot, because the sine wave is kind of a nice thing to leave. Cool. All right, so we're getting here a little bit. Now let's take a second to talk about filtering. So right now we've got a lot of high end going on. And we want to get rid of that. So an easy way to do that is by rolling off the frequency. So your filter is on. And the sound is instantly becoming rounder, right? Now, there are some different filter settings. I like this PRD filter setting because it gives us a little bit of drive, which is nice. So I like to put this just nice frequency here, and let's give it a little bit of punch. Nice, and we're going to turn the resonance up a little bit. And what that's doing is that's boosting at the cutoff point. Nice. All right, now I'm still wishing that there was a little bit more punch. So I'm going to go here into the square wave. I'm going to add some feedback and maybe boost this level a little bit. And give it a touch of sustain. Okay, that's working for me. Nice. All right, now the thing that makes a step bass is that it's stepping. So we're going to go ahead and add from our plugins, not our plugins. Whoa, brain fart there. We're going to add from our MIDI effects the arpeggiator. And I like to set this to an eighth note, so let's check that out. Cool. Now I'm going to... That's a good amount of punch. Cool. I'm going to add a little more volume here. Alright, and there you have it. It's a super simple step bass making use of Ableton Live's operator, sort of native plugin instrument. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to Ableton, and especially if you're switching from MainStage, head over to my website at mainstagetoableton.com/go to get your free copy of the Fast Track patch list guide today, which will have you up and running with a MainStage style patch list in Ableton Live. And to stay up to date with all of our latest blog posts, be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel here.